All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Harlingen City Commission meeting. The meeting has been posted as required by state law. The time is now 5:32 p.m. I'll call this meeting to order. We have a quorum of the commission as everyone is present today. At this time, I'll ask for everybody to please rise as Commissioner Lopez, our Mayor Pro Tem Lopez, leads us in our invocation.
Dear God, as we gather during this hopeful Christmas season, we pause to remember the great love brought into the world by your Son's birth. As we address the city's needs, grant us the grace of patience and understanding for ourselves and our neighbors, especially facing challenges like the service disruptions we've had over the last day or two. We lift up our first responders, including our public works, our water works, our police, fire, and medical personnel, and ask for their protection as they serve. Please give all citizens the wisdom to make responsible choices for safety this season, such as reminding them to check their fire detectors are working and avoiding impaired driving. Finally, we pray for those who feel lonely or burdened this Christmas. Guide us to share your gentle kindness and ensure that no one in our community is forgotten. Amen.
Amen. Now the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mark?
Under state law, a conflict of interest exists if a commission member or certain members of that person's family has a qualifying financial interest in an agenda item. Members with a conflict of interest cannot participate in the discussion or vote on the agenda item. Are there any known conflicts of interest to disclose at this time?
None.
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 None. None.
Item 3, announcements. With respect to items not listed elsewhere in this agenda, the City Commission may report on items of community interest, including announcing community events, announcing employee or community recognitions. Item 3A, Mayor's announcements. Mayor?
Just briefly, as mentioned, we have had a boil notice that is in effect here in the city of Harlingen. Been in communication with the Harlingen Waterworks, and I've been in constant communication, and they are testing samples. They've been doing that all day today, and hopefully by the time this meeting is over, we'll have some results to be able to share with the community, and hopefully we're able to lift that notice and everyone can get back to their regular routines without disruption. We appreciate everybody's patience and also appreciate everybody helping us share this information with our community. We also have some great things that are happening this week in the holiday spirit. We have the lighting of the Arroyo, which is happening tomorrow. And where's Delma? That starts at 6:30 p.m. We invite everyone out. The team does a great job, and we also have the Christmas parade downtown. Staff does an amazing job putting that together too. So we have lots to do this weekend, including market days as well. So we invite everybody out and enjoy the festivities. That's all I have.
Okay, we're going to go with City Manager's announcements. Mr. Garcia?
I just wanted to introduce Rachel Saldaña, the new media director, if you can come up.
Good afternoon, everyone. I've met many of you here, and for those who haven't met me yet, my name is Rachel Saldaña. I'm the new Director of Communications and Media for this great city, and I'm excited to be here and be a part of telling Harlingen's story. If you need anything, I'm here to help, and I'm here to help get messages out for you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Saldaña.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Garcia? No? Okay, we're going to move on to City Commission members' announcements. Commissioner?
I have done.
As you guys heard in my prayer, I just asked that everyone double check their fire alarms. I was talking to the county fire marshal, and he says about every year around this time we have a fire that's avoidable. Second thing is I understand that everyone's going to be having their corporate parties and having festivities. Please do not drink and drive. Cameron County is a no refusal county, so they will get breath or they will get blood. So please be safe, use the Uber, get someone to drive you places, and let's just have a fun and enjoyable Christmas season.
None. None.
Okay, we're going to move on to item 4, proclamations and presentation of awards. 4A, we have the Harlingen Animal Shelter Pet of the Week.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor, and good evening, Commissioners. So today we have Mr. Peanut Butter. He is a Labrador mix. He is fully vaccinated. We're just pending his sterilization to be done, and we're already on the works of that. He was actually featured last week on our Pet of the Week with News Channel 5. So he is our star of the show right now. He is well behaved. He loves tummy cuddles and so far, so he's our star today, as you can see. And then
Aw.
this week we
He's
will also,
posing.
yes, this week we will also be at Market Days.
Do you have any, I know that we had passed an ordinance allowing for special rates during the holidays. Is there anything that you want to share with the community in terms of adoptions?
So last week we did have a 50% off. We are trying to do it for this month as well. I believe we're trying to go more into the 13th of this month, but it hasn't been set concrete. So that's the only one that we have, and it'll be 50% off for adoption rates as well.
All right, fantastic. So we invite everyone to follow the Harlingen Animal Shelter page to learn about opportunities to adopt, and he looks really comfortable. So hopefully he finds his forever home. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, on item 4B, Mayor, we're going to go ahead and pass. The students weren't able to make it today.
Okay.
But, so we're going to move on to 4C, presentation and proclamation for Sunshine Haven 25th anniversary celebration.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. So I will read the proclamation as follows before I invite their Director, Edward Camarillo, to come and say a few words. Whereas Sunshine Haven Incorporated is a non-for-profit organization devoted to providing compassionate end-of-life care in peaceful, home-like setting, and whereas the vision of Sunshine Haven began in 1998, led by registered nurse Lois Del Castillo, and a group of dedicated Brownsville residents who recognize the urgent need for such care in Cameron County. And whereas Sunshine Haven formally incorporated as a nonprofit in 1999 and opened its doors in November of 2000, welcoming its first patient shortly thereafter. And whereas for 25 years, Sunshine Haven has provided no cost and comfort to care to more than 800 terminally ill individuals ranging from newborns to sanitarians, offering peace, dignity, and support to patients and families across Cameron, Hidalgo, Willacy counties, and whereas the organization's staff, volunteers, board members, and supporters have upheld its mission with unwavering compassion, delivering not only medical care, but emotional and spiritual care, supporting during life's most difficult moments. And whereas Sunshine Haven has become a cherished community institution and a beacon for comfort, dignity, and hope for the region's most valuable residents. Now, therefore, I, Norma Sepulveda, Mayor of the City of Harlingen, Texas, hereby honor Sunshine Haven on their 25th anniversary and celebrates its enduring legacy of care, the countless lives it's touched, and continued commitment to serving our communities with compassion, comfort, and dignity. In witness, therefore, of, I set my hand caused by the seal of the City of Harlingen to be affixed on this third day of November 2025. Mr. Camarillo?
Good evening, Mayor, City Commissioners, City of Harlingen. Thank you so much for this proclamation. I want to first also ask my board president, Ms. Michelle Davis, and our board secretary, Ms. Adriana Cavazos, to step forward. It is our honor to be here before you all. We are so thankful and appreciative to the City of Harlingen for your constant support. Half of our patients every year come from the City of Harlingen, and the work that our caregivers do each and every day is truly the foundation of the organization. Without our caregivers, there would be no Sunshine Haven. But without the City of Harlingen and the CDBG and the Community Development Block Grant and the city folks here, it would be very difficult to operate under the model, our current model. And so we are so appreciative of what you all do year in and year out when you have to make those tough financial decisions, especially that CDBG board and each of those members, and how hard it is to divide those monies among so many different groups, but you all managed to ensure that Sunshine Haven does get funded. And for that, we are truly, truly grateful. And again, it's an honor to work with you all and your staff. I can't tell you how many times I've met with your staff here at all different levels, and to find what such professionalism amongst this group. And it just goes to show your leadership, Mayor, and the commission and everyone that's involved. So with that, we're so thankful and blessed to be a part of this partnership with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. So please don't leave. We'd love to take a photo with you, but I did want to just, on behalf of the City Commission and the city, we really do appreciate all the hard work that you do. We know that it isn't easy work, and it's something that is necessary for our community, and we're glad to continue to be partners. I was really sad that I wasn't able to make the celebration, so I'm glad that you're here and that we can celebrate you, and I'd love to have the commission join me as we take a photo.
Perfect. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much for everything you all do. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, look over here. All right, and look here, and 3, 2, 1. One more, and 3, 2, and 1.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to item 4D, presentation and proclamation for Guadalupe, Mancillas, Armendariz.
So before we invite Ms. Lupita up to say a few words, I will read the proclamation as follows. Whereas Guadalupe Lupita M. Armendariz has dedicated over 3 decades of distinguished service as an educator, administrator, program director, and nationally recognized leader in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics outreach, and whereas throughout her long-standing career as an education program consultant, she has enriched the countless lives through her work with the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, Texas Southmost College, NASA outreach programs, and national organizations dedicated to advancing STEM careers among underrepresented students. And whereas her leadership within the Society of Mexican American Engineers and Scientists includes historic service as the first woman on the National Board of Directors in multiple officer positions, earning the esteemed Medalla de Oro for her contributions, and was recognized in regional publications including La Voz Houston and Texas Hispanic Magazine. Whereas Ms. Armendariz has significantly advanced opportunities for students nationwide through her work with Great Minds in STEM and the HENAAC Awards, coordinating university participation, delivering Viva Technology workshops across Texas, California, and other states, and nominating dozens of NASA employees for national recognition. And whereas during her tenure with NASA's Ames Research Center and Johnson Space Center, Ms. Armendariz held prominent leadership positions, including Deputy Director of the Office of Diversity and Equal Opportunity, Programs Manager for the Minority University Research and Education Program, Technical Monitor for NASA University Research Centers, and Hispanic Employment Program Manager, Executive Director of the Houston/Galveston Federal Executive Board, facilitating federal initiatives, congressional engagement, and professional development for regional federal employees. And whereas Mrs. Armendariz has successfully managed multi-million-dollar federal and private grants, conducted compliance reviews and evaluations for K through 12 and university programs, and strengthen partnerships with Hispanic-serving institutions, historically Black colleges and universities, and tribal colleges and universities. Now therefore be it resolved that we commend Guadalupe, Lupita, and Armendariz for her lifelong commitment to public service, her transformative leadership in STEM outreach and diversity programs, and her unwavering dedication to empowering students and communities across Texas and the nation. Ms. Lupita, if you'd like to come up.
First of all, thank you so much for this honor. It's amazing to receive it and to be recognized by the city where I live. I've worked very hard promoting STEM's education, not just for our Latino students, but for all students and colleges as well. So it is a big, big honor. The award I received in October was called the Vanguard Award. It's normally given to technical people, engineers. I'm not an engineer, but I hired them, including one of our Latino astronauts, Jose Hernandez. And if you have not seen his movie, A Million Miles, trust me, you will enjoy that. It's amazing. And oddly enough, he doesn't say, I want to thank Lupita for recruiting me. But, you know, movies are made and they don't include everybody that has helped them. But I was so proud. I knew him as an undergraduate student, as a graduate student, and then as a professional engineer with Lawrence Livermore. So when he catches me at a national conference, he said, Lupita, I want to talk to you. And I said, okay. So I moved away from my exhibit table, and this was in Washington. And he says, no, privately. I said, okay. And then he says, come and have dinner at my house tonight. And I said, I knew his family. And I said, Adelita's not going to appreciate you taking somebody home to eat. And he said, no, don't worry, she'll be okay, and you'll understand from the movie. So anyway, so we go, and all the little rugrats were running around, and we have dinner. And I said, you know, Jose, Stella and I, my boss, got to go back to Washington. He lived in Virginia. And he says, okay, so Adelita takes the kids up to go to bed, and he says, I want to be an astronaut. Oh, okay. So we talk a little bit, and I said, well, you know, Jose, I'm going to step out of our conversation, and I'll let you and Estella, my boss, talk. And I said, Stella sits on the astronaut selection committee. His mouth goes. So anyway, they talked. We invited him to Houston. He was in Washington and on loan from Lawrence Livermore, one of the national labs, to the Department of Energy. What he was doing for them was going to Russia to oversee the disarmament of nuclear, the plutonium grade for nuclear weapons. And so anyway, long story short, I said, you fly yourself to Houston, you can stay at our home, and we'll let you have one of our cars so that you can take care of your business. Sure enough, he had his application with me when they had, and mind you, you have to know that most often when they have recruitment offers for astronauts, there's like 2,000 or more applicants for that program. Well, he was invited to come back for another interview, and then another interview. He was selected as an astronaut. And my husband and I had the honor to go to his launch when he was flying on the space shuttle. So thank you for this honor. It's amazing. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, Ms. Lupita, we can't do the honor that you deserve, but on behalf of the City of Harlingen and the City Commission, we thank you for recruiting him and for all you do for the Latino community and all people, and being an educator and making sure that our, future generations are armed with the knowledge that they need to be able to be leaders in the future. So thank you so much, and I know that the commission would love to take a photograph with you, and we do have the proclamation for you.
You've seen it, right, so you can see how hard it was. Go back to it. Go back.
Takes a.
And my commissioner.
If you are the one who represents our district, would you like to join us? Thank you so very much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Right here. Okay. Everyone ready? Move here. And 3, 2, 1. And one more. Ready? And 3, 2, and 1.
He was telling me right now. Yes. I wonder if you think before or after the wine. I don't know. Evan says he's going to be an engineer and a lawyer.
I love it.
Rock star.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Okay, Ms. Myra?
Okay, we're going to move on to item 5, citizens' communication. At this time, the public is invited to address the city commission and speak on any matter not specifically listed for public hearing elsewhere in this agenda. Please note that the city commission members may not respond to comments or deliberate on topics addressed. Today, we have 5, Mayor, in total.
Okay, but before, let me just, give me 1 second.
Of course.
So I just want to notify everybody, because it is of high importance, and I know our media team is here, so maybe you can notify the citizens of Harlingen. We did take a precautionary measure, but we have been told that the water boil requirement will be rescinded. They did all of the samples and the testing all across the city, and everything came out negative, so we are good to go. So those of you that are like me, and you brushed your teeth that morning, and you were concerned because you had the cup of coffee, know that it was a precautionary measure. All is good, and it should be rescinded, and we want to make sure that everybody knows that moving forward. Now, Ms. Myra.
We're going to start with Ms. Dawn Ray Leonard.
Seven months ago, I stood here warning you about the dangers of ignoring safety protocols and the consequences of another FAA investigation. I discussed the fire chief and called for his dismissal. To date, he has not been held accountable. On June 10th, I was called out of a board meeting by the fire chief in an attempt to intimidate me because of my previous comments. And then he bragged about it. Mayor, you disrespected me by saying my comments were not based in fact, only opinion. Fact. This is the second FAA investigation in 9 months, and here we are. I've watched the airport director and the assistant director of aviation resign within the last couple months. Why? Because the mayor's desperate to control the airport. We're losing two phenomenal individuals with decades of experience and distinguished service to our community, providing for a safe and efficient operation of our airport. Commissioners, this is not okay. I attended a recent airport board meeting where the mayor deliberately muddied the waters with her incessant rambling, attempting to derail the hiring process. She continuously questioned the methods by which the airport director performed the task of selecting his replacement. His hiring matrix was dead on and proven by AI. Mayor, you have no aviation expertise to make these calls or criticize the manner in which they are made. We also watched as Commissioner Perez flew out of his seat and went after the airport attorney and the board chair in a threatening manner, again in an attempt to intimidate. Sadly, the second resignation dropped shortly thereafter. So, Mayor, if the FAA cites the airport and the city for violations, will the taxpayers be required to pay the exorbitant fines? Will we lose opportunities for future grants and suffer a possible shutdown of our airport because of your persistent meddling? On November 25th, Commissioner Morales came to City Hall around 1 o'clock to place an item on the agenda. The deadline is typically 4:30-ish. Apparently, the agenda was closed prematurely and he missed the deadline. Additionally, the airport board was also denied adding their agenda item, both referencing the hire of the new airport director. So through no fault of their own, with no notice given, their submissions were denied. There is no value in delaying the hiring process as the candidate has been selected. There's no excuse for this intentional interference. It's dirty play. Mayor, this is about who they want, not who you want. All of this could have been avoided if you would have done the right thing in the beginning. Matthew 7:16 says, "You will know them by their fruits."
Thank you, Ms. Leonard.
Okay, we're going to move on to Raymond Reyes.
Raymond Reyes, 706 Nantucket. Well, what can I say but the things I usually state? So good and bad out there. Everybody's got an opinion, but generally the facts speak for themselves. I have brought some things to light and still waiting on some response. Apparently key individuals are not available at the moment, but that's fine. There was another discovery when I was going through the agenda. I've been working with doing some other things in other cities just north of South Texas and smaller communities doing really amazing things that, again, leaves me wondering, why is Harlingen lacking? You know, when we first moved down here, we were way ahead of Westaco, Mercedes, and the list goes on and on. We kind of have lingered a little bit. As I was going through the agenda, I reached out to some individuals to question why are we spending $49,000 on lighting when I was able to get the information on the lighting that's being utilized. And I was able to do my own stuff like I normally do, and I came out with a figure about $10,000 for about the same thing, minus the poles, but eso es lo menos, as they say, which is a tremendous savings that can be utilized in other things. And I know there's systems in place that you got to get bids and you got to do this, you got to do that. Maybe we need to circumvent some of those or adjust those so we can get more bang for the buck, as commonly, you know, known in the industry, especially on the business side. Because as a reminder, everybody up there, mostly everybody, was elected to do the right things for the citizens of Harlingen, not for the beneficial facts of certain individuals. And, you know, we got to stay in our lane. There's certain key individuals that are in charge of certain things, and they're experts in those fields. So we should just let them do what they do and stuff. I often would be questioned sometimes on my experience on IT, but again, I only have like 37 years in doing it, so, but I'm always learning, you know, and a lot of the times I would just let them fall flat on their face, you know, and maybe lose millions of dollars because they didn't want to listen to an expert. So I suggest we keep in mind that we're trying to do the best thing for the city of Harlingen and the citizens. And as long as we keep that in mind, everything will be good to go. But we shouldn't be surprised if something goes wrong and then we're held accountable for that. It's cause and effect, like I would always say. So we need to be sure that we do our due diligence. And, well, buzzer beat me this time. But thank you for your time, Commissioners, Mayor. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes.
Okay, we're going to move on to Robert Leftwich.
Robert Leftwich, 909 East Parkwood. I just wanted to start off with and congratulating you two on your recent election wins. Welcome to the Commission Day. I look forward to seeing you, benefit the citizens of your district and the citizens of Harlingen. And likewise with you, Daniel, Commissioner Lopez. But I would like to address one of the comments you made, and I would like to reinforce the fact that there are laws, and we have to obey those laws or be held accountable. And there are other reasons or other characteristics of being drunk, and one is being drunk with power, Mayor, and this is for you. And I just want to say that tyranny, having people or trying to have people arrested, several people in the community you've tried to have arrested, you don't like to be criticized, and that's not gonna go well with the citizens. The fact is, it's gonna come back on you. But let's talk about the airport board, because that seems to be a problem. We heard about it earlier. When I brought up alleged Uncle Roy and the potential of nepotism at the Harlingen Waterworks, where y'all paid your husband's uncle $240,000 a year after going through a paid process with an outside firm, tens of thousands of dollars to bring in candidates, and then push that to the side and say they didn't bring any qualified candidates, and then ultimately settling for your uncle. You defended that, and you said, let me quote you. You said, Harlingen Waterworks, for those that are not aware, is not taxpayer funded. It is a legally separate entity with its own board of trustees. And while I am a member of the board, I'm not a voting member, just like everyone else on the commission, right? Maybe not so on the airport board, but you're still not a voting member. You have a board member there. But according to the charter and the changes that occurred in 2024, it's not any different. So why is there a different stance now on the airport board where you want to impose your will on that board? You further said there was a national search that went on for general manager. They went out twice for this position, and some candidates along the way withdrew, while others, the board determined, were not qualified and were not the right fit for the organization. You ended and you says, the decision was made independently without any oversight or authorization by the commission, which is within their right to do as the board of trustees. Again, not by me and not by anyone on this commission. Why is it different now? Well, let's talk about special interests. We heard that from another speaker. You've taken almost over $10,000 in campaign finance money from people associated with the airport. That, to me, is a red flag for special interest. There's definitely a reason. Why were you kind of hands off on the waterworks? You went to those meetings. You attended according to the records. As a matter of fact, some of the meetings that they held when they were hiring somebody. But let's talk about something else. Let's talk about abuse of office. Is it illegal for any of y'all to use city resources to go after political adversaries as you have, Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Leftwich. Have a great day. Next.
We're going to go with Ms. Padilla. She is going to be speaking as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'll make sure I call next time when I want to register.
Ms. Padilla, if you can just pull it down,
Pull it
just,
down?
thank you.
Thank you. All right. You have something on, here that says conveying, consideration and possible action to authorize the interim city manager to approve the drainage easement. On those documents that you're going to present today, they contradict each other, and if you look at them, they also look like they've been altered. And me and Saul want to make sure that you know, and it goes on record, we do not approve that the city do the ditch or that transfer the irrigation to the Harlingen. I believe you've been given a few chances already to fix things, to do all kinds of things. It shows that it's wrong. It was done in your previous administration, and now you guys have the opportunity to fix this. We can talk, that you can buy it from us, from this easement. You can have choice buy it from us. You just shouldn't take it. There are two separate things here. Lipscomb Irrigation is owned by the irrigation ditch. By irrigation, not our property. There's a blanket easement that a lot of properties have, but I don't think we paid $275,000 to know irrigation has a right over our whole property. I think that's incorrect, and we are gonna fight it. But you have the opportunity to fix it, because you have now trying to fix something, to have him sign something to give you the right. You already sued me from October, but you don't even have the deed executed. So this is an opportunity for all of you commissioners to think about it, fix it. Let's fix it. This is crazy. We shouldn't be taken, our land shouldn't be taken for an easement law blanket that was from the 1900s. It doesn't make sense. Nobody here would buy any land that way. And your photo, if you look at it, does not include our property. It doesn't. Lipscomb does not include our property. Let's see if I have a little bit more, because I had a lot to say, but you're requesting this approval, and I'm suggesting that nobody approve it, and you do a little more research, or let's have a conversation. It doesn't say how much money you are going to use to fix this irrigation ditch that you guys want to do. It's a waterway, it's not a ditch. Our property does not have a ditch. The information that the attorney has provided to the judge when we went for our injunction that they called it the other day, that was false information. I never knew an attorney can give a judge false information. We did let the surveyors on our property. Thank you for allowing me to speak, and please think about it. This is your chance to fix this problem.
Thank you, Ms. Padilla.
Okay, last one's going to be Desi Martinez.
Hi, Desi Martinez, and congratulations to all of you, especially Lupita. I have a Lupita at home, too. Congratulations to you for all the good work. I send you all an email, a packet of information that because of the interest I had 30 years ago in that area, building the Border Patrol and doing some commercial buildings, everything south of the railroad tracks. The first item I sent you was a floodplain. The second item was that the city engineer gave you all on the November 14th or más o menos meeting with the P&Z board. And my questions that I have there. I have particular interest because just like you, Mr. Lopez, you have family there and Wilson Road and all that. That area needs to be developed proper, and I congratulate you for working with the irrigation district, because these ditches irrigation district been around since 1914, and they were done for agriculture. But they used them for drainage now as the city grew. And you see on your floodplain, Mr. Mesmer, you'll see in the floodplain, a lot of your area is in the flood zone. And Mr. Morales, in your area, especially in the Latino neighborhoods they're in serious flooding conditions. So we need to work this with the city engineers working, but work with the county. If you see one of my questions there is that the county has no role. We're taking all the burden. And the financial, one of the things that the engineer mentioned in that 14th meeting to you all, combined with the P&Z, was that you would be doing some expansion of Morris Road, et cetera. I don't have a problem. I'm pro-development and pro-working with the community. I'm a school of business and economics, but you got to do it right. And drainage is the first one. And this irrigation presentation I'm getting to you is fine because we need those ditches cleaned and developed. And the problem with that area, though, it has only one outlet by spectrum, and it blew out. EDC should be helping you, both EDCs, to redevelop that in complete drainage with the right calculations of flood, et cetera. Please inquire with us, with me, with Jack Brown, with others, Mr. Moore and others that have over 100 years of experience of helping you and your staff, because they're on you. Your engineer's just been here 3 months, the other one left, and then the other one left. Please, get us together in the committee for Morales and Mr. Mesmer, how we can input and help design this, because of what the engineer provided you from CSE and him, I see some flaws. That area that's developed all along, anyway, thank you very much, and you have a Merry Christmas. I won't see you till after the year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez.
Okay, Mayor, we're going to move on to item 6, approval of minutes for a regular meeting of August 20th, 2025.
Okay. Is there any amendments to the minutes? No. Okay. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Okay. Item 7 is consent agenda. No discussion is anticipated on any of the items in this section because they are routine business, were included in the budget adoption process, or have been previously discussed as a staff report or discussion item. This item will be considered collectively by a single vote unless a commission member requests an item to be removed from the consent agenda.
Any items needing to be removed? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda, items 7A through E?
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, for item 8, staff reports and other discussion items, we don't have any at this moment, so we're going to go ahead and move on to item 9.
Yes, ma'am.
Public hearings. At this time, the mayor will invite members of the public who have filled out the public hearing and the citizens' communication form to address each item listed in this section. Please limit your comments to the topic of that public hearing. If more than one public hearing is being held, you will be allowed to speak during each topic, provided you have filled out the public hearing and citizens' communication form for the appropriate topic. If you are signed up for 2 or more public hearings, you will be limited to 5 minutes for all topics. At this time, we don't have any signed up.
All right. We'll go ahead and go through these even though we don't have anyone signed up. Just for the record, item 9A, public hearing for a rezoning request from Office District to General Retail District located at 1616 and 1620 North at Carey Drive, bearing a legal description of Lot 9, Medical Subdivision. The applicant is RGV Plaza LLC. At this time, we'll open the public hearing. Having no one here to speak for or against this item, we will close the public hearing. Item 9B, public hearing for a rezoning request from not designated district to General Retail District for 13.58 acres of land out of Survey 140 LL Adams Subdivision located south of Wilson Road, approximately 4,800.46 feet east of Bass Boulevard. Applicant being Moore Land Surveying LLC, care of Zarate Home Designs. At this time, we'll open the public hearing. Having no one here to speak for or against, we'll close the public hearing. 9C, the public hearing regarding a request to consider an appeal of the decision of the Planning and Zoning Commission on first reading of denying the request to amend the previously approved planned development district to allow a second detached dwelling unit for a property located at 3319 Pebble Beach Drive, bearing a legal description of Lot 8, Block 5 and 6, Treasure Hills Country Club Subdivision, applicant Fernando Pesina. Having no one here to speak for or against this item, we'll open and close this hearing. Item 9D, public hearing to amend Chapter 111 zoning, Sections 111-1, 111-62, 111-275, and 111-280 of the Code of Ordinances to authorize model homes, model home sales offices, and homes identification signs in residential single-family and planned development zoning districts, providing for a severability clause and establishing an effective date. At this time, we'll open the public hearing on this item. Having no one here to speak for or against this item, we will close the public hearing and move on to our action items.
Okay, action, it's going to be item 10, action items. City Commission will discuss, consider, and take any action deemed necessary on items listed on this section, including the adoption of a resolution or an ordinance. Item 10A is consideration possible action to approve an ordinance on first reading for a rezoning request from Office District to General Retail District located at 1616 and 1620 North at Carey Drive, bearing a legal description of Lot 9 Medical Subdivisions. We have planning and development.
An ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Harlingen, rezoning from Office O District to General Retail GR District located at 1616 and 1620 North at Carey Drive, bearing a legal description of Lot 9 Medical Subdivision.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, item 10B is consideration possible action to approve an ordinance on first reading for a rezoning request from not designated district to general retail district for 13.58 acres of land out of Survey 140 LL Adams subdivision located south of Wilson Road, approximately 4,800.46 feet east of Bass Boulevard.
Mark?
An ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Harlingen, rezoning from Office O District to General Retail District located at 1616 and 1620 North Ed Carey Drive, bearing a legal description of Lot 9 Medical Subdivision. Or is that the same? Last one? The next one, okay, I'm sorry. An ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Harlingen, rezoning from not designated N District to General Retail District for 13.58 acres of land out of Survey 140, LL Adams subdivision located south of Wilson Road, approximately 4,800.46 feet east of Bass Boulevard.
Is there any discussion?
I had a question.
Okay.
Do you know what's going to go there?
It's only, they only said commercial. We don't know if it's a plaza or a business, like, we don't know.
Okay, that's the only question I had.
All right. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Item 10C, consideration and possible action regarding a request to consider an appeal of the decision of the Planning and Zoning Commission on first reading of denying the request to amend the previously approved planned development district to allow a second detached dwelling unit for a property located at 3319 Pebble Beach Drive, bearing a legal description of Lot 8, Blocks 5 and 6, Treasure Hills Country Club Subdivision.
All right. And Mark?
It's not it's an appeal. It's not an ordinance.
On this one,
On the homes?
yes, ma'am, in Treasure Hills?
Yes, this is the amendment to the plan development?
Oh, sorry, I skipped one. I was like, no, this is multitasking here. I thought this was the model home. I said,
That's this
that
one.
seemed okay.
Mark,
Okay, so yeah, I looked at this one, and there was a lot of notes, and there was some discussion about it being larger than the home, or, so can you, yeah, I always have a real hard time telling residents that what they can and cannot do on their land.
Yes.
And so if there's a way for them to be able to do it, I always try to err on the side of allowing people to enjoy the use of their land. There was also talk about like an easement. What are the issues? Is it not permissible because of our restrictions, or it's not permissible because it's not possible?
I was under the belief, sorry, just jump in. I was under the belief that the Texas Water Code and the Texas Administrative Code did not, because we are within 150 miles of an international border, we fall under the colonial laws. And I thought the colonial laws prohibit having two residential properties on two residential structures or homes on one piece of property if it's less than 5 acres.
Which
So that's
is,
the model subdivision rules.
Correct.
okay,
All
so.
right.
But
so-
zoning-wise, it's also not allowed.
Right, but to the point of it's not possible, it's not legally permissible, why are we entertaining and having the owner come and present if we know it's a hard stop?
No, we talked to the applicant since the very beginning, and we try to find options for him. And so based on what he wants, it was just not possible since the very beginning, but he still wanted to go ahead and try it. And that's why, this is the reason why he submitted this application, even though we advise against it.
So, Mark, I'm sorry, Mike, but as to, yeah, to Commissioner's point, and which is why when I was reading all of it, I was like, you can't do this anyway.
do that.
You
Yeah,
can't
it's not-
legally
you
do
can't
it.
legally do it.
And so we, even if we said he could, we would obviously be in violation of the law, which our ordinances can't trump that, even if we could find some way, to be able to do this.
Right, and so that's what we, planning and zoning, staff recommended denial, and planning and zoning also recommended
Okay.
denial.
Anna, I would imagine that the commission is going to defer to Mark. I think it's important for the resident to understand, and so that way they don't feel that they're not being heard. Is this something that you're going to go back and talk to him?
I will speak to him again.
Okay.
However, I did meet with him. He, I think the assistant director was also present in another meeting that we had. Like, we have multiple conversations, so.
So my suggestion would be, and I don't know, maybe this is for Oscar, when things are not legally permissible, I don't think that we should be expending resources, staff's time, P&Z's time, and commission time if we can't do it. So if it's a legal issue, I think that those should be sent to Mark before they move forward. Is that, would you agree? Yeah? Okay, it's my recommendation, because you spent a lot of time on this. I read through all of it, and then I thought, I'll never get that. Okay, never. I'm not going to say that. Right, and I just, it was a lot of work put on, and then I felt that maybe the individual, I would think that there was hope if I could appeal to the commission, and if I knew that I could appeal to the commission, I would hope that they would take into consideration my concerns and hopefully approve it. But if it's not possible, then, why are we here? So that, I don't know if there's any other discussion. If not, I'd move to deny.
So I'll make a motion to uphold the denial by the Planning and Zoning Commission on item C.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a question for Mark. Mark, since I have not been here long enough to do my own research on this, can I abstain from voting?
If you don't feel comfortable, go ahead. I
Okay,
never-
I'm abstaining from voting on this. So you'll see that on my voting, because a lot of them, they're not going to be unanimous.
I don't know if
And
there's,
just for the commission's.
Okay.
For the
my
commission.
philosophy about abstentions is I trust each member of the commission to have the right reasons for abstaining.
Right.
And I don't never ask a member of the commission the reason that they're abstaining, because
Right.
I just trust them to abstain for the right reasons. I think
The-
it can be a little counterproductive when we ask people to explain why they're abstaining.
I understand. The only thing I would say, and I think I brought this up before when Commissioner Morales wanted to abstain from an item, that the charter indicates that if you're going to abstain, there has to be a conflict, and a defined conflict under the rules of what a conflict is. And so I don't know if not having a full understanding is a conflict. I would defer to you, because that.
Mark, I am referring to you, the attorney.
Yeah,
What is it?
and like I said, if a person if a person tells me they want to abstain, I'm going to trust them that they're abstaining for
A conflict.
whatever reason that they're pronouncing, right?
I
I'm
can-
going to trust them that they're abstaining for an appropriate reason.
Right. No, I can appreciate the reason in this situation, but I just think moving forward, we set a precedent where if you can abstain for a reason.
Abstentions are for conflicts of interest.
Correct. And so if the charter calls for a conflict of interest, is this a conflict if you don't have an understanding of the item?
Like I said, I'm not going to
I
ask.
haven't been here.
I'm not going to ask many members of the commission to explain themselves. I believe that it's public interest is best served if a person has a conflict, that they recuse themselves without having to explain themselves. Otherwise, I think we create a disincentive to recuse yourself if you have to identify a conflict. If that makes any sense.
Thank you.
So then that's what we should have done with Commissioner Morales when he was made to vote when there was no conflict and it was just not wanting to vote.
Well, I don't believe people should be.
I understand what
Right.
you're saying, and I can appreciate it, but we'll defer to you, and you made the decision, so then that's fine. We're moving forward. So all those in, did we already vote? No, all
No,
those
there
in
was a second.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And for the record, Commissioner Gomez Cavazos has abstained from the record
It's
and
Cavazos Gomez, I have abstained. Thank you.
has abstained. All right, moving forward.
We're going to move on to item 10D, consideration and possible action to approve an ordinance on first reading, amending Chapter 111 zoning, Sections 111-1, 111-62, 111-275, and 111-280 on the Code of Ordinances to authorize model homes and model home sales offices and home identification signs in residential, single-family, and planned development zoning districts, providing for a severability clause and establishing an effective date.
Mark?
An ordinance of the City of Harlingen amending Chapter 111 zoning, Sections 111-1, 111-62, 111-275, and 111-280 of the Code of Ordinances to authorize model homes, model home sales offices, and home identification signs in residential single-family R1 and planned development PD zoning districts, providing for a severability clause and establishing an effective date.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, item
Thank you,
10.
Anna.
Item 10E, consideration possible action to approve the purchase of one truck for the Planning and Development Department.
All right, is there,
Make a motion to approve it.
okay.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
Item 10F is consideration possible action to approve the procurement of a replacement vehicle for the downtown maintenance operations.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, item 10G is consideration and possible action to approve the purchase of 24 solar-powered trail lights for City Lake Park in the amount of $49,990. Parks,
Is there a discussion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I'd like to amend that motion to be up to the 49,990. All right, Mr. Reyes had reached out to me last night about an alternative. I'd like to share that alternative with staff, and if they think that's the better route to go, we go that route. If they think the 49,990 is a better route, you guys go that route.
Quickly, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, just to give you the option, so approved up to the 49,990. If you guys find a cheaper option, let's go with that route, that you feel that, you know, is the best.
I just had, because I agree, they're desperately needed. I go on the lake all the time, and it is, but are they gonna be solar?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
So you amend the motion, and then there was a second?
With it.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'd like to make sure that my amendment is included in that motion. Is that with?
Well, it
Mr.
was not your motion.
Correct, it was not my
Okay,
motion.
so that's what I was
I'd like to
asking.
add that condition precedent, if you want to call it that, to Mike's motion, please.
So we have a motion from who? Was it you?
Me.
Okay, thank you, Mike. So a motion from Mike and amended with the amendments from Commissioner Lopez, and then we have a second from Commissioner Morales. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Commissioner.
okay, item 10H is consideration and possible action to authorize the city manager to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Rio Grande Valley Metropolitan Planning Organization regarding the distribution and maintenance of bicycle and pedestrian counter equipment.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, item 10I is consideration and possible action to authorize the interim city manager to execute the drainage easement deed conveyance from Harlingen Irrigation District No.1 to the City of Harlingen.
Is there discussion?
I'm curious, on the funding question here. Where are the funds going to come to pay for this?
Which item, sir?
We're talking about
Tonight?
10I.
Okay. So for the irrigation conveyance, they're currently owned by the Irrigation District. We've been meeting with them, so they're not charging us to convey the easements they own. So there's no monies associated on that transfer of ownership. That includes the Lipscomb drain system as a whole, basically south of the expressway. It does include the outfall between Rangerville and Ed Carey. And that also includes the horseshoe Resaca. But they're not charging us. If it was a private developer, they would be required to buy out that land and use it for their own
So
purposes.
there isn't any money, there isn't any
No, sir.
financial transaction. Mrs. Padilla brought up the dispute here. Have you looked into this?
Yes. Me and Mark, city attorney, we've been in coordination in regards to that component.
Mark, is this line of discussion permissible, or?
If the conversation was to end here, I'm fine with it. If it goes, if the commissioner wants to have further questions regarding this, since this is in litigation, I'd like to take this in executive session, if that's what you'd like to discuss.
I'm hoping we can table it until we get everything squared, but.
Well, it's up to the commissioner whether you want to table it. I don't think there's a reason to table it, but if you're going to have any discussion one way or the other, I think we should do an executive session.
I have a couple questions on this that I think may go into that territory, Mark. So I would
So
like to.
can we just get a motion?
Yeah, I'll take a motion. I'm sorry. what were you
No,
saying?
go ahead.
I was going to make a motion to take this into executive session so I could ask those questions. Sure. But good point.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The time is now 6:33 PM, and we will be retiring to executive session on this item. We will return and will not, and continue on with our agenda, and then go into executive on the remainder for those that are waiting. Holy moly. All right, the time is now 6:46 PM, and we are back in open session. And is there any other discussion on this item or questions for Robert? Having none, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the transfer.
All right.
One last question, I apologize, it just popped up. On the screen, Robert, it says item 10I, and then it ends with subject to legal counsel approval.
Yes.
On mine, my packet in front of me, I don't think it references subject to legal approval. Do you want it subject to legal? No, it does not.
It does not.
I would ask that it be subject to legal approval.
Okay. Can we amend?
Okay.
Just trying to remember the motion.
Well, I amend it to include legal approval.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion carries.
Okay, item 10J is consideration and possible action to approve a resolution authorizing the interim city manager to execute the advance funding agreement for the Arroyo Colorado Phase 4 project with the Texas Department of Transportation and to approve payment of the required direct state costs to TxDOT.
Do we have discussion?
Okay, this is Hugh Ramsey, which is on the loop, and you want to extend it east to the FM 509.
Yes, sir.
There will be, or will there be, seizing of people's properties on this one?
No, sir.
This is all free and clean.
We're installing it all within the Arroyo Colorado right-of-way. So we're going to be submitting plans and approvals to TxDOT and the IBWC, the ones that control the floodway.
Okay,
But
and then
everything's
as I
within-
recall from months or a year ago, then the people can then walk north on FM 509 and down Harrison and back again.
That's the next phase is the
Yeah.
way we continue connecting and increasing our trails.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Item 10K is consideration and possible action to approve a resolution accepting the top nominees on the official ballot submitted by the Cameron Appraisal District to the City of Harlingen. Mr. Garcia?
Mayor and Commissioners, the Cameron County District is asking the City of Harlingen to cast their votes on the official ballot submitted by them. The city is authorized to cast a total of 98 votes, and the commission can either allocate all votes to just one nominee or spread them throughout the 8 nominees on the ballot.
I'd recommend that we utilize all of our votes for Commissioner Garza, so that way he remains on the board and represents our area of the county.
Repeat, who?
Commissioner Garza, Commissioner David Garza. I'll set someone
I'll
else.
second that.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, item 10L is discussion and possible action to appoint a new board member to the Cameron County Emergency Communication District Board position to represent the City of Harlingen.
I'll nominate Chief Alviad for this position.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, item 10M is consideration and possible action to appoint a new board member to the South Texas Emergency Care Foundation Board of Directors.
Mayor, Commissioners, this appointment is to replace former Commissioner Ford Kinsley as a representative for the city of this board.
So on this, I've been kind of thinking about this for some time, and I know that I talked to Bill earlier today, and he asked if he needed to be here, and I told him that he didn't have to, but I've been working very closely with Bill on some other issues regarding EMS and our issues at the ER. So if no one else is wanting to serve, I'd be willing to fill that position.
As a nurse practitioner, I have inside knowledge.
So you want it?
Sure.
I'm all for it.
I just thinking on this, is that because we are so intertwined with STEC as it relates to emergency disasters, like, for example, in March of 2025 and other like incidences. Mayor, if you want it, go for it. I'll let you guys do it.
I'm
if
fine if-
Whoever
if-
wants it.
Yeah.
Right. I just want to make sure that you're tied in, whether
Right.
through STEC or whatever, with them, because we need to, just like we are tight with fire, just like we're tight with HPD, just like we're tight with Cameron County Emergency Management, we need you to be plugged in with them. So however you guys want to do it.
Yeah, we do have the reports from them, but there's been a lot that's been going on in our community. And so I'm in constant communication with them at all hours of the night with things that happen over at our hospitals. And so I do think that it would be good, so that way we have communication with all stakeholders that are on the board. I think it'd be beneficial for the city. So I'm happy to serve in that capacity, but if you feel that, you want to do that, and it could be.
Yeah, I have expertise.
Well, I'm happy to entertain a motion either way.
I'll make a motion that Mike fills this position here.
Okay. All those in, and can I get a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, item 11 is board appointments. Specifically, is appointment or discussion and possible action to include appointment and/or removal of any position subject to appointment or removal by statute, ordinance, or by law, bylaws. Any appointment?
What are we doing?
Board appointments.
I'd like to appoint Trey Peacock to Development Corporation. Colonel Robert Greider to the Golf Course Advisory Board. That's it for now.
None.
And I have, in the Parks Advisory Board. Wait 1 second. I believe Ernesto Cisneros has completed his term, and I'll be replacing him with Noemi Cisneros. And reappointing Dr. Martha Cano to the Airport Board and Ruben Peña to the Airport Board. And that's all I have.
None.
None. Oh, before I forget, Commissioner, last time we had a meeting, you mentioned, was it the Teen Advisory Board that you wanted to get up and running? There was a board you wanted? Okay. Yeah. So, if everyone for homework, we can, and if you guys have any recommendations for me, I'll take them, so.
I have, mine's already here and up for reappointment.
Which one? Who's your appointment? Are you sure they're still there? They didn't graduate, they're in Harvard or something like that?
Well, she has graduated, actually. But aren't they, can't they still serve until they're
They're still here?
25 or something like that? Yeah, she's
Yeah, because
here.
mine took off. Mine's already gone. She's already in
Yeah.
Arroyo College.
Yes, on the first page.
And Commissioner, are yours reappointments, or their, Trey's a reappointment, and is the other one a reappointment? Okay, perfect. Can we get a motion?
Motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay.
Next.
We're going to move on to item 12, executive session. All items listed in this section will be deliberated in a closed session. Members of the public are not generally permitted to attend a closed session. Executive session items may be considered as an action item at the discretion of the mayor. However, City Commission will not take any action in closed session. 12A, pursuant to Texas Government Code, Section 551.072, deliberation regarding the purchase, exchange, or lease of a real property.
Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Time is now 6:57 PM, and we will retire to executive session and be out shortly. All right. Time is now 7:19 PM, and we are back from executive session. Ms. Myra?
Okay, item 13 is action on executive session items. The City Commission will reconvene an open session and may take action on any item listed in the executive session section of this agenda. Item 13A, consideration and possible action on item 12A as discussed in executive session.
I'll make a motion to acknowledge report and proceed as discussed.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And that is it. We are adjourned. Thank you.